Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters, and tonight I want to tell you about a time when I highly offended one of my students. This was years ago. This was in a suburban high school here in Oklahoma, and I happened to have a girl in class who, well, she was, I guess you'd say, of Hispanic heritage. She couldn't speak Spanish, but she did have a Hispanic last name, and I guess she was Mexican. But at any rate, the thing that highly offended her, that really upset her, had to do with a statement I made. And I'll tell you what that statement is in a moment. But you know how it is in our society nowadays. Everybody wants to find something to be offended about, and anything that has to do with somebody's racial background or cultural background or ethnic background or whatever, well, that seems to be a prime target to have an excuse to get offended. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the nature of the Spanish language. Spanish is absolutely phonetic. In fact, phonetically phonetic. They will absolutely make whatever adjustments they have to make in order to make sure that everything in Spanish is spelled exactly the way it sounds, so that whenever you want to read in Spanish, what you see is what you say. Whenever you want to write in Spanish, what you would say is exactly what you write. And so the sound symbol correspondence is amazingly tight in Spanish. English is exactly the opposite. We teach our kids English from first through eighth grade, and then they still have to rely on spell check, because in English we are spelling with an antiquated system. We're spelling words the way that they used to sound once upon a time, but the spoken language has changed, and we no longer say words that way, but we still spell them that way. Silent letters, weird consonant combinations, and all. And if we want to learn how to spell at all in English, we've got our work cut out for us. There are a lot of irregularities. It's tough. So what did I say that offended my students so badly? Well, I have observed that when Americans learn to write in Spanish, we often are much better spellers than typical Hispanics are, even if they are native speakers of the language. Why is that? Because we have to develop certain visual skills, even if we're not visually oriented, in order to write our language, and we do this over the years. And since we develop those skills, we'll transfer those skills right to our Spanish, and so oftentimes English-speaking Americans will be able to spell better than most native Spanish-speaking people. It's just a fact. Can't help it.